Sorry about that. I actually just can't even remember. That's the thing about getting older. I cannot remember. I can't remember where I was going. Anyway, I think I was telling you about the name change, the Lone Crone, because I'm now 58, as I have said before, boringly repeating myself. I'm now 58. I'm no longer anyone's idea of what a spring chicken is, and it's time to keep it real. I just wanted to emphasize the no BS element of this channel, my writing advice, if I ever get to give any, and my general approach to life from now on, I think. I sometimes get caught on. I haven't put up a video, done a video for absolutely ages, because I was just kind of a bit lost, thinking, I don't know what I want this thing to be. Do I really want to do this? Can I be bothered to, sit around talking into a camera, into my phone, not even a camera, my phone, and pretend that, everything is all hunky-dory and great and whatever I was planning on doing. I can't even remember now. And I thought, no, I didn't want to do that. But what I do want to do is what I've always wanted to do, which is just talk and see if I can find some like-minded people out there who also like talking and talking about real things, not BS things that don't affect any of us. I'm not claiming to be in any way superior or perfect or anything. God knows I'm not. And I myself get stuck on, I just think the more technology advances and AI and all that sort of stuff and social media, the more that advances, the more we regress and become these little, shells of people, husks of people we once were, and our community and socialness just totally evaporates, and it's really sad. And I think I found myself in a situation that a lot of people find themselves in, which is, you get to a certain age, old, and your friends are busy, they're doing other stuff, whatever. You might have different political opinions to them, and that's driving a wedge between me and a couple of my friends at the moment as well. So I've decided I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about any sort of political thing. I must admit, I do get stuck on Twitter and YouTube. I often look at YouTube things, and I realize, I don't like any of them. I don't agree with any of them. So I feel like a bit of an outsider about that, but also I'm trying not to be interested anymore, because I can see it's destructive to the relationships I do have, and I don't want that. I want that more than being what I consider is right, correct, or not. I don't give a toss. I just want to have some fun. I want to have some connection with people. I want to, have good chats about stuff that's really important, and not about stuff that I can't do anything about. None of us can do anything about, and just hell bent on being, looking like a good person or being on the right side of history, which is a phrase I cannot abide. Always look on the bright side of life, I much prefer. And anyway, so I'm coming into being the lone crone. That's what I'm telling you about today. And I wanted to kick it off with talking about some physical things that I've noticed. I've been noticing for a while now, that have happened, particularly because I've lost a fair bit of weight recently. And so the number one thing that I'm really noticing is the saggy boobs, which is a bit disconcerting on the one hand, because it's like, oh my God, the deflated balloons and all that sort of stuff. And I think, where's it all gone? And I remember when I went to get a bra fitting quite a few years ago, actually. I was still in my, I don't know, I can't even remember when it was. And it was at, where was it? John Lewis or M&S or something like that. And they, somewhere where they have fittings. and the old ladies come and they just check you out and they get the right size and stuff. And I told her my size and she sort of didn't believe me. Anyway, she came back. She came back with some bras and tried and said, yeah, it's kind of. And she said, what it is at the top. It's not where you think it is, really. It's at the top there where you've lost, she said, volume. She said, yeah, there's no volume there anymore. And I was a little bit sort of disconcerted. I wasn't devastated, but I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. But now there really is nothing there, and it's all heading south rapidly, which is okay. What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna have silicone. I'm not gonna go under the knife and get a breast implant or get any kind of augmentation or whatever it is. I'm just not gonna do it. So who gives one? Right, and the second one is hag hairs, otherwise known as witchy chin hairs, which seem to sprout with alarming regularity and an incredible thickness. And you can always tell when someone is experiencing the same thing, because inadvertently, unbeknownst to themselves, they will start sort of just doing things like this when they're talking to you, like or and what they're doing is they are searching for these thick hairs that you can feel. You may not be able to see them. If you're lucky, you can't see them. Actually, that's one thing. When they first start, these hag hairs, they tend to be black, but as you get older, they turn white, which is horrendous, because it also means you've missed the window of opportunity to get them lasered, because lasering doesn't work on white hairs. So you're done, whichever way you cut it. And it's one of those things that I think you just have to sort of accept. I realized I had accepted it the other day when I was talking to a mate of mine who's actually in Sydney, and I was talking on the FaceTime, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, but I've got a little pair of Tweezerman tweezers just here, and I just started, just slightly off camera, I think, just started, feeling around for hairs and tweezing them, and I thought, oh my God, that's like the old lady's equivalent of seeing someone in the car next to you stopped at the lights picking their nose or something. It's so gross. Anyway, I thought, well, is it that gross? It's not as gross as that. Anyway, I just thought, isn't that interesting? I'm obviously so comfortable with this mate of mine, and comfortable with the fact that there are these things happening to my face and body that, whatever. What are you going to do? And I did want to point out that it's interesting. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. It's slightly interesting that while the hairs on your chinny chin get thicker and thicker, the hair on your head gets thinner and thinner. And it's quite disconcerting. That is really quite disconcerting. I'm really looking into wigs now. Wigs, if it's good enough for Beyonce, it's good enough for me. They look really good. There's something called the Raquel Welch brand of wigs. Hang on a second, I'm just going to turn the heater off. The Raquel Welch ones that look really amazing. They're about £200 or £300 though, so I'm really going to have to save up for that one. But when I do, I will let you know, and I will try it out and see what you think of it as well. Comments below, as they say. Right, so that was the hag hairs. Yeah, the saggy boobs, hag hairs. What else? I did write them down. Now, thinning hair on your head. I don't know about pubic hair. I haven't checked it out, but I imagine the story goes that as the older you get, the straighter your pubic hair gets, and more sparse. But I haven't really checked it out. Who needs to? And the next one was turkey neck, which you can see. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, the neck's the dead giveaway. I don't think people can get surgery on the neck. Some they must be able to, but anyway, I'm not going to. That gives it away. That gives it away for sure that you've got some years on the clock. But once again, so what? The other thing, thing that really gets me is my when Mum died. I still have trouble saying that. When Mum died, I cried for God knows how long. a long, 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 long time, and the under my eyes was totally black. And it wasn't mascara because I hadn't put any on for a million years, and it was just black under my eyes. And when I started to slightly recover from that, they sort of disappeared a bit, although I did get big glasses, and I think maybe the big glasses hide the eye bags a bit. I don't know, they're pretty much there, but maybe the glasses or detract from it in some way. So I'm gonna hang on to these. I quite like them. I know they're too big. I know they're a bit Mel Robbins, but you know, I quite like them in their bigness and Mel Robbinsness. Even, you know, not that I'm a fan of Mel Robbins, but I have enjoyed a podcast or two. Anyway, in direct contrast, well, not really into contrast, but up here, as you're getting the black rings under your eyes that don't go no matter how much sleep you have or don't have, are the droopy upper eyelids. And I know that if I catch sight of myself in a mirror on the phone, you know, when you've left the camera on or something, you've turned it around, and when you turn your phone on to you do your code or whatever to unlock it and make a call or whatever it is, and what comes up is your face on the camera, the turned around camera thing, and it's always a shock because you're always looking down, you've got several chins, and you're not in any way posing or pulling any face. It's just straight, dead, resting hag face. And yeah, that was a shock to see the droopiness of the upper eyelids, which is another thing that people get fixed. I know Catherine Zeta-Jones did. Like, she wasn't even old. She just had those sorts of things. And she got them fixed. And, you know, she looks all right. She always looked all right, but she looked great. You know, same with, what's her face? Renee Zellweger. With her little eyes. She looked great. Why would you then go and change it? Which reminds me of, God, what's her name? The woman who was in Dirty Dancing. I can't for the life of me remember her name, but, you know, she was great. She looked great. She was also Ferris Bueller's sister in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which was never a major fave of mine, but, you know, people loved it. Whatever. What was her name? Anyway, after, you know, she was hugely successful, well-known face that everyone loved, and then she got a nose job. And it changed everything. You know, she never made a hit movie again. She's never starring in anything great again. And now I can't even remember her name. So the moral of the story is, don't ever get a nose job, regardless of how hideous your hooter is. You know, because it's part of your face, and you might as well. You know, who wants to go through the pain? Who wants to go through the pain? And it may not work out well. It may not look good. It may not suit your actual face. I know I hate my nose, but what are you gonna? I'm just not going to do it. I say that now. If I ever do it, you'll be the first to know. Jowls. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Saddlebags. There they are. And once again, so what? I do find, I can't lie. I do, when I sort of catch sight of myself or I look at myself, I don't look at myself much. This is the most I've looked at myself for days, weeks, months, possibly years. And it's quite weird to see my face in all its crookedness, its wonkiness, its bulbousness, its jowliness, and to not really care that much about it because it's my face, and I've spent too many years hating myself and bits of myself physically and emotionally. And, you know, it's time to, you know, I can't get on board with the old love yourself thing, but at least stop being so harsh on yourself about things that you can't really change and don't matter that much. At least I'm hoping. Fingers crossed they don't matter that much. Anyway, we shall see as time goes by. Oh, and a thing I've just noticed really recently is lipstick bleeding, which is real old lady stuff. Because I also tend to do the other old lady thing. I've been doing that for a while, which is have a darker lip liner than your lipstick, which we used to see the makeup counter ladies in David Jones and Maya and stuff. John Martin's in Adelaide when we were kids. We spent a lot of time at the makeup counters, and the old ladies had caked on foundation, lip liner way outside their thin lips, and a lighter color on the inside. And we always took the mickey out of them and thought it was hilarious, and they just didn't know how ridiculous they looked. Hello. They may well have been aware of how ridiculous they looked, but they probably thought they looked really good. And I know I never think I look really good, but I do think I look better when I have lipstick over the outside of my thin lips, which are probably another thing that are getting thinner as time goes by, which is another bummer. And the last one is elbows. People always go on about elbows as you get old. Nora Ephron used to said something very funny about, something about him. If they were around the other way, we'd all be devastated or something. I can't remember. But they're discolored and wrinkly and crinkly and foul. But I just figured I can't see them, therefore they don't exist, and I don't care. So that's that. Anything else? I don't know. I guess teeth is always a problem. And I think, when I manage to save up some money and I'm getting myself sorted out with wigs, I'm also going to get myself sorted out with teeth, get them whitened, straightened, sorted out. I've got like my two front teeth have had, they've been chipped from time to time, and I've had caps and stuff, but they've always come off. And because I don't look at myself that closely anymore, I don't really care, and it doesn't occur to me that other people might look at me and go, God, what's up with her teeth? She should really get those fixed, which I know I've thought about people that I've seen, reasonably recently, but they like had a missing tooth and stuff, and things have been black and brown everywhere. But, whatever. It's what you prioritize, it's what you think is important, I guess, and what you can afford. Because we all know that here in England, dentistry is it's hard to come by, and if you do manage to find one, it will inevitably cost you millions that you don't have. So that's that. So anyway, I just thought I'd kick it off with a few physical things that are really starting to make themselves known, show themselves on my old face. And if you can think of any more that are annoying you, or that aren't annoying you but you've just noticed, let me know in the thing. Don't forget to subscribe. I hate it when people say that, but I'm gonna start saying it myself, so maybe I don't hate it that much. And welcome to the new and improved YouTube channel, The Lone Crone. And that's it for now. Okay, cheers then. Bye.